We're back with another round of Haiku. This time, the 64-bit version. Let's have fun. Here's our test subject, the HP Compact DX2450. With a dual-core AMD processor, 4 gigs of RAM, a SATA drive, and an NVIDIA GT230 graphics card, this puppy has potato written all over it. It does have the ability to boot from a USB stick, which is handy because it's faster than installing from a CD. With this machine's track record, being able to boot from a USB is its only strong point. We're using Etcher to copy the boot image to a flash drive. Etcher gives me an error after flashing the USB, but it seems to work okay. And it does boot, and it does connect to the internet. I tried the beta version, but it didn't read the network adapter correctly, so we're using the Nighty build HREV 55650. The installer sends us to the disk setup. We'll blow away the old Linux partitions and reformat the drive to the BOS format. Then we can install the system. It installs very quickly on this rather old and small SATA drive. After a reboot, we're on the desktop and ready to hit the repository. We'll install Otter Browser first, because the more browsers, the better. While we're at it, we'll download some of the programs we tried on the 32-bit version: Kwave, QMplay2, OpenShot, and LMMS. How about some graphics programs? We'll snag Wonderbrush and Krita. They look like fun. Let's try some multimedia software. Since Meadow was built for Haiku, it should work. Clockwork looks interesting too. Let's try them both and see which works the best. Both Krita and Wonderbrush can do basic graphics work. I'm used to the GIMP, so I spend half my time trying to figure out where all the tools are. I didn't try any of the more advanced features, just paint fill and inputting text. I don't need much more than that. LMMS just works. No virtual instrument support, but sound fonts work just fine. This pleases me to no end, since I do most of my music composition in LMMS using sound fonts. It exports to WAV, OGG, and MP3 formats without an issue. It's a keeper. For audio editing, we'll try Kwave again. It plays back a known good WAV file, but with lots of stutters and pops and clicks. This is not promising. The file plays back in Media Player, so there's something bad going on with Kwave or this particular Nighty build. I'm also seeing a lot of CPU activity, so maybe we need a better machine than this potato. I decided to give BAE another try. It loads up MP3 and OGG files, but crashes when opening up a WAV file. I can work with OGG or MP3 files. That's not an issue. What is an issue is the display and the sound output is off by several seconds. An attempt to edit the file resulted in the wrong area being affected. This is not good. Let's try some multimedia work with Clockwork. Using some PNG image files, a WAV file, and an HD video file, Clockwork has no audio and is very fussy. It seems to default to 4:3 video at around 440 by 380 resolution. In its present form, it's unusable. Let's load up Meadow. We'll use the same PNG, WAV, and video file we use with Clockwork. It does okay with just the PNGs and the audio file, but stutters playing back the video. It was a bit cranky with some screen tearing, and it was really slamming the CPU, so maybe it just needs better hardware. It did export the project to a Vorbis OGG file without issue, although it did take quite a while. I'm guessing that this really needs stronger hardware to work correctly. It looks hopeful. The 32-bit version of OpenShot seemed to work on the other computer. However, on this computer, the 64-bit version doesn't even launch. Debug complained about missing or misplaced libraries, so hopefully that can be resolved in a later build. At this point, I'm going to stop. It's a nightly build, so you have to expect things to be broken. Using a potato machine doesn't help matters either. However, what I've seen so far gives me hope that with a better machine and a more advanced build, I'll get better results. Haiku is still in beta, but it looks very promising. I'll keep experimenting and trying it out with some stiffer hardware. Thanks for watching. Check out the Haiku website for more information. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I'm a tiny channel without a Patreon or sponsors, so getting a like, a comment, or a subscription really makes my day. And as always, stay curious.